Coffs Harbour High School, founded in 1938, is a government-funded school along the north coast of Sydney, New South Wales. Their school motto, written in Latin at the bottom of the school logo, says Lumen ex tenebris, meaning light from darkness. The school's vision is for the entire school community to strive for excellence and for everyone to improve. They celebrate and value diversity in all areas of the school, from the offices to the playground. Coffs Harbour High School carries a culture where students participate actively through the school's social and cultural life through a commitment to attendance and learning. In Coffs Harbour High School, they have a wide range of diversity in the school, with almost 10% of students being Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders. 20% of students have a language background other than English, and 10% receive learning support like help translators. Most students from Coffs Harbour High School come from low economic families. There is also a large Sikh community, therefore in PDHPE, cultural practices, expectations, and dress code are considered. The school has also noticed that the participation and enjoyment of PDHPE classes for girls is low and needs to be changed. Coffs Harbour High School has an opportunity during the school year to compete against other students from other schools in sports. For the Sikh community, there are Australian Sikh Games, which include sports like netball, volleyball, and touch football. There is a growth with female events at the Games. The Lighthouse Learning Centre, where students can go for social and emotional support. The Aboriginal Education Consultative Group has ties to the school, bringing advice and values to Aboriginal students. For the game, I would use the Teaching Games for Understanding approach to assist students in learning skills and techniques. In addition, using a student-centered approach through a self-check/peer check and guided discovery teaching style for students to assess themselves and others, and for the teacher to encourage particular areas of thinking around the students' actions during the game. The TGFU is supposed to bring an appreciation for the sport/game and break down techniques that need to be learned so they can be used in the game and across other sports. Having a student-centered approach gives the students the ability to come to their own conclusions and make their own evaluations of the game/sport. They're able to create their own strategies to be used and then put them into practice to use and then refine for the game and other sports. Using the TGFU, students' abilities would be able to be questioned and could be changed in order to make the game become more fluid. Encouraging students to use other strategies, techniques, and ideas to further improve their skills or create good habits and be reflected in the game. Through the use of a student-centered approach and the help of teacher-guided discovery, students are able to reflect on their actions and abilities to make adjustments to their actions through the modified versions of the game. It will be visible by the action and decision they take in their gameplay by how the flow of the game goes. Transfer understanding from previous movement experiences to create solutions to movement challenges. Students will need to be able to perform the correct strategies and actions in order to make the gameplay with fluidity. Through the modifications of the game, students need to be able to build upon their previous knowledge in order to win the game. Analyze the impact of effort, space, time, objects, and people when composing and performing movement sequences. While students participate in the game, they need to adapt to the changes through the modifications of the game. When the game speeds up, students need to be able to keep up with the pace and learn at the same time. Provide and apply feedback to develop and refine specialized movement skills in a range of challenging movement situations. With the assistance of a teacher-guided teaching style, students will be able to give feedback to their peers and reflect on their own actions to meet the challenge put before them during the game. The game, Feeding Frenzy. The type of game is Invasion. And the aim of the game, to get the entire fish team onto the shark team by hitting individuals with a ball. Last person to be hit wins. Quick summary of the game. The game starts with two teams, shark team and fish team, starting with two sharks and all other participants are fish. Sharks cannot move while they have a basketball-sized ball in their hands. Sharks are only allowed to touch the basketball-sized ball once before someone else has touched the ball. Fish are to run away and not get tagged by a ball. If tagged, fish run to grab a sash and then help sharks tag other people. Teacher adds a ball in once in every 3 people who come to get a sash. Modification 1. The shark team must walk instead of run, but the fish team can still run. This modification still gives the shark team mobility, but because of the lack of speed, encourages the team to pass the ball to eliminate the fish team. Modification 2. The fish can catch the ball to defend themselves and are not out. This modification encourages students to have precision aiming and efficient passes to eliminate the fish team. Modification 3. The two starting sharks can run again, but when fish are tagged by the ball, they must stand still where they are tagged and help the shark team. This modification encourages communication between the shark team. To eliminate fish, teamwork and strategy are needed. The fish team have to come up with strategy to evade the ball movement from the shark team. This game is considered an invasion game as students are moving into space, positioning, evading and cornering. Feeding Frenzy is based off an Aboriginal game called Jump In Pin. The game has many transferable skills across different sports. The passing skills for basketball and netball, the planting feet skills for netball, positioning for soccer, and evading for rugby league. This game is simple and easy to learn with very few rules, good for foreign students. With the modifications, students are encouraged to pass the ball around and is accommodating for special needs students. The game would be accommodating for the Sikh community as it would not infringe on their regulations of conduct. For the Coffs Harbour High School, I would use the Change It method. Coaching style, have teacher-guided questions to influence the goal of what you want the students to achieve. The area, making the playing field smaller would increase the pace of the game and with less people give other students the ability to play. Game rules, make modifications to the rules could increase participation, strategizing, or practice of technique for students to learn. The equipment, this would encourage less confident students to participate using objects/changing the size of the ball to suit their needs. Inclusion, this would have to be done to be able to include all diversities at the school for everyone to participate. Some reflection questions to ask the students between modifications. What is the best way to move the ball around to have the best chance to eliminate players? Looking for ways students pass the ball around and reflecting on their passing technique. Where would you be positioned if we were on Team Shark or Team Fish in situations A, B, and C, and why? Encouraging students to think about how they move around the field of play and what the best strategy is. How does strategy change during the start of the game with only two sharks, compared to the middle of the game where half the room are sharks? Students need to reflect and use their critical thinking skills on how they adapted as the game went on. What is the best strategy for the fish from the start to the end of the game to stay alive? Listening for movement, evasion, and team tactics that the students have seen work while playing.